Okay, from the top. If anybody, at any time, for any reason, wants to institute a gun safety regulation or a background check or a mandatory buyback on anybody, it is literally a call for state-sanctioned gun violence on the person who does not want to comply with the commands of political parasites.
But with every deadly shooting in this country, the odds get worse and worse and worse. Are you really willing to keep playing those odds? This is about lives, the lives of all Americans. We need to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people.
All Americans and people all over the world need to understand that the slightest advancement or call toward any gun regulation by anybody is a call for state-sanctioned, what they would call gun violence. The enforcement of any law happens by the threat that men with guns will come to you and harm you in some way if you don't comply with their gun laws. You'll be fined, caged, or murdered if you refuse to play by their rules and obey their commands. And it doesn't matter what kind of law it is. Universal background checks, so-called common sense gun regulations, gun safety regulations, buyback programs, closing the gun show loophole, and it doesn't even matter if they claim that it's going to save lives or keep guns out of the hands of bad people. The facts are still the facts. When guns are outlawed, only the outlaws will have guns. Gun laws are quite literally threats of gun violence against you if you don't obey the edicts of lying politicians, like blackface extraordinaire Justin Trudeau wants to do in Canada if he's re-selected by the banking mafia.
Here's what we will do to end gun violence. We will ban military-style assault rifles and start a buyback program for all military-grade weapons that were legally purchased.
Saying buyback is nothing but a dishonest euphemism for mandatory gun confiscation. It's a power move initiated by the barrel of a government gun. And confiscation always leads to registration, which historically leads to the extermination of an infinitely greater number of people than would have died had everyone kept their weapons. And yet, the sheep applaud liars like Trudeau.
And we will work with the provinces and territories to enable municipalities to restrict handguns.
That's another dishonest euphemism. He doesn't want to restrict or control handguns. He wants to restrict and control people. And of course, the brain-dead lemmings applaud for this as well.
That's what a re-elected Liberal government will do. But I'll also tell you what we won't do. We will not bring back the long gun registry, and we will continue to respect Canadian farmers and hunters. But we know you do not need a military-grade assault weapon, one designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time, to take down a deer.
How many times in the last year or two have you heard about weapons designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time? How many times have you heard politicians tell you what you don't need? Anybody can kill just as many people with a high-capacity magazine and a handgun as they can with a rifle. What you're watching right here is a Glock handgun empty a 100-round drum in 5 seconds. These people don't just want to confiscate so-called assault rifles. They don't want you armed, period. And it's only the psychopath who wants others to be victims while he enjoys the luxury of an armed security detail.
And on this particular issue, here's the hard truth. People are dying.
Politicians are lying.
Families are grieving.
Bankers are profiting.
Communities are suffering.
Governments are deceiving. Okay, Justin, you talked me into it. I don't need this gun anymore. These things are killing people. Please, Justin, please keep me safe. Just take it. Take it.
So we're going to do more, and we're going to do better. Thoughts and prayers are just not going to cut it. The choice could not be clearer. Liberals are for tougher gun laws. Conservatives are for weaker. gun laws. That's the difference between forward and backwards. That's what choosing forward means.
In other news, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer, faith community members protest against gun violence and urge for assault weapons ban. Members of various churches and synagogues protested gun violence in Philadelphia on Sunday afternoon, wielding signs that read, "Ban assault weapons now," and "Lord, make us instruments of your peace." About 60 people marched down South Street and joined a chorus of demonstrators singing spiritual songs as onlookers cheered. The event was organized by heeding God's call to end gun violence, as they begged government to initiate gun violence on those who don't submit to the very laws these churchgoers are calling for. Organizers emphasized that thoughts and prayers are not enough, and that members of faith-based communities must mobilize to urge Pennsylvania lawmakers to enact gun control policies. Let's be clear, these church people want government to control everybody by the barrel of a gun, whether they realize it or not. The event follows a summer of mass shootings in Texas, Ohio, and elsewhere, which spurred new pushes for gun control in Washington's District of Criminals this month. Demonstrators gathered at Mother Bethel AME Church at 6th and Lombard Streets before heading down South Street to St. Peter's Church at 3rd and Pine Streets. At St. Peter's, organizers designed a memorial to commemorate the lives of people killed by shootings in Philadelphia in the last year. Colorful t-shirts, which each had a handwritten name, age, and date of birth, were hoisted onto poles and rooted in the grass behind the church. The victims ranged from age 14 to 66. This is all an emotional appeal, guys. Reverend Mark Kelly Tyler said, "Gun violence touches all of us." Well, actually, individual so-called gun violence doesn't touch all of us. But widespread systemic government gun violence, which is what these people are calling for, will absolutely touch all of us. Here's the deal. Government never makes anything better and always makes everything worse. So it's literally insane to trust them to take away our guns to make us safe. Make no mistake, they're full steam ahead with some form of gun confiscation. Their aim is to create a whole new class of criminals out of peaceful gun owners who just want to be left alone. Like and share this video and leave your thoughts for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. And before you go, check out our new shirt designs in the shirt store. Here's the Beta Hates America design. Hell no, you're not taking my AR-15. And nobody needs an AR-15. Well, nobody needs a whiny little bitch either. And yet, here you are. How about elements of defense? Choose an AK-47 or an AR-15. If you're a free individual, the choice is yours and the sky is the limit. And against all enemies, Democrat and Republican. There are over 90 other kick-ass designs in the store and the links in the description. Your purchase supports the message of freedom on this channel. If you get something out of this content, help me beat YouTube's censorship algorithms by liking and sharing this video. And while you're here, why not watch a couple more of my videos? Until next time, stand firm, stay vigilant, and for the sake of all that is right and good, stop giving your rights away to tyrannical psychopaths who want to destroy this country.